So I
Okay.
think he's under the impression that that I'm not lying to him and that I'm telling him what is showing on the load board. So, but he still wants to find good paying loads.
Okay, that's cool. That means you built that trust. You're building that trust relationship. So, one second, guys. Hello, it's Charles. I can help you.
John, this is Carl. This is Kendra.
Hey, Kendra.
I got a question.
Okay.
I wanted to do the broker class today, right?
Yeah, we're in training right now.
Right now, right?
It is.
You got me on.
Yes. Hello. Say hi. Say hi, Kendra, to everybody.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm gonna get you, Charles. Ooh, I'm gonna get you.
Okay, so, but I'm going to partner with somebody, but then they want to sign up next week, but I want to sign up this week. Can I do that?
Yeah, the only thing that I require is that the whole payment be made at one time. The other person can join. The other person can join next week, but the payment has to be made.
So you tell me I got to take care of somebody else?
Well, if you're partnering with somebody, I'm assuming that you guys have something planned out. If you can't pay it all yourself,
All right. Well, I'll just come to the class today. It's right now. I'm looking at my time sheet. Sorry to bug y'all.
Yeah, it's Easter. No, it's fine. It's Easter Standard Time. So.
You know, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be ready to sign on now.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Someone wants to sign up? Okay. Take my headsets out. So where were we? Sergio, so he wants you to go ahead and do it for next week. Just get prepared for next week.
Yeah. I'm still looking. I found some more loads to where he wants to go, but even the ones that I'm finding right now for Monday, they're averaging about $1.30, $1.35. So they're even lower than this morning.
Right, Brandy made a good point that the rates are still kind of low right now. So when we look at this from a broker's perspective, then we'll talk about that too. How we're going to look at it from a broker's perspective, and it relates to shippers. We have to find good paying loads. Either you're gonna have to find good paying loads, or we're gonna have to come off some more money as a broker to pay to the carrier, so the load can get moved and get booked. So you can think about volume, because even if you pay $50 to $100 a load, but if the shipper is giving you 10 loads a day, then you still making money, as opposed to trying to knock somebody in the head for like $100 or $200, and the load just sits there. Now your shipper's looking at you like, hey, wait a minute, I paid you to move this load and it's not being moved. So now your confidence in the shipper, you could lose that customer.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in a different arena. Now we're in the broker side. So now we have to look at it from a broker's business perspective now. So when you're dealing with your carriers, so if that was me, and if I was a broker and I had a good paying shipper, I would sell it for like $50 to $75 low, because I'm going to make something.
Mm-hmm.
And my brokers, my shippers, my customer. As a broker, you're trying to keep your customers satisfied.
Yeah.
So the more you satisfy your customer, the more loads they're going to give you, because now you're proving to them that you do your job. So now you're establishing that relationship with them, and they go. So, all right.
Yeah.
But just keep at it. You got your dispatch hat on right now with that guy. So now it gives you a chance to look at loads over the weekend and to see if you can find him something that'll satisfy what he's looking for.
Mhm. Yeah, but you know what? The only thing I see is that, like during your training sessions, the brokers that you called, they all were willing to pay $100 more on all those loads, and I've been noticing the same thing every time I call a broker and I tell them, what's the most you can pay, and everybody's saying $100. Is that what the normal rate is to increase as you're calling for a load?
No, it's not. The broker just set the price whatever they want because it's their load, it's their customer. So they base the price off of how much they feel or they believe that they can make from that load. There's a standard. Every broker's price varies based off of the target rate that their customer sold that load to them for. So now, if I got a customer that sold me if I got a customer that sold me a load for $5,000, and I try to took the carrier for $4,000, the carrier said, well, I want $45. So now the broker I got a $1,000 wiggle room. So.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Brandy, your connection's bad. Brandy said her connection's bad. Hold on. I got to share my screen, too. 1 second. Let me share my screen. Can everybody see? I was doing some editing in the back office here in my website. So, bear with me.
Brandy.
Okay. All right. Someone join who's anonymous. Welcome anonymous, whoever that may be. I got Kendra, I'm assuming. I hope that's Kendra. Okay. All right. So yeah, the broker side is a little bit. There's a little bit of a finesse, a little bit of wiggle room with your customers, what they're paying you target rate, and what you're going to sell the load to the carrier for. So, Sergio, that's how that works. So again, if a rate is quoted, or if a target rate is given to you by a shipper to sell that load for, and it's non-negotiable, the target rate. They want to sell you a flatbed load for you say, okay, well, how much do I want to mark off? 20% of that is $1,000, which is that's kind of high. So I'll say, well, I got a $5,000 load. I'll sell it for $4,500 to the carrier. That way I'll know it'll move, and I'll still make $500. Now, if the carrier wants like $4,750, another $250, then the broker's going to lose that extra $250 off the $500. So I'm still going to make $250 on the load. So the more money the carrier wants, the more money is proportionate to what the carrier wants. It takes away from what you're going to profit from. So if he wants $100, then you're going to lose $100. If he's $200, you're going to lose $200. But you stay within that range of profit margin that you're trying to make. But you still want to make a decent amount, and you still want to give the carrier a decent amount. So you're satisfying two people in that. You're satisfying the shipper by moving the load, and you're satisfying the carrier by giving them a decent rate. That's how I operate as a broker. So, okay. Any questions from last week that we want to go over, or I'm going to go over a little bit of the tidbits I gave here. Can everybody see me and see my screen? Welcome, everybody. Roll call. Sean, my main man. Karen, Sergio. Oh yeah, Gwen. I need to go over that with you.
Hey, Charles, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Hey, so for these passwords, like how the hell these work, man? Like, are the passwords go directly with the other one? Because I'm like, man, I'm trying to figure it out, and I cannot get it.
Okay, if you notice the passwords I sent to you in the email.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, starting with where it says prerequisites, don't say password, but from prerequisite down to training videos, if you notice each password, each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So there's 10 sublinks for the website. I gave 10 separate. So each one matches each of those links. So if you click the first one, it's the first password in that email I sent you.
Got you. Okay.
And,
I was thinking that, but I was like, man, nah, this can't be true. I'm testing. That's what it is. I'm testing some security for the website to see how that works. I may go back to the other way with the like I do Dispatcher, but I want to. I'm just testing right now. All right.
So if you still can't get in, let me know. So each password corresponds with each of the lines on the password email, each of the Word document. Okay. We got guests on here. I'm not going to say anything out loud, but I'm just saying. But you know what they are. So, right? So someone just texted me on Facebook. Someone's trying to get on. Freddie just said if you have someone, Kendra, Freddie just said if you have someone to go in half on the freight broker class, he is available. Kendra. Can you unmute yourself? Charles, can everybody see the screen that I shared? Because Charles just said he couldn't. Charles, 2225, right, Charles? I know I hear Tashawn. Tashawn can unmute himself. So can everybody hear and see the screen? Okay, everybody says yes. So Charles is saying he's having trouble on his end. So I'm going to let him know everybody else can hear and see. All right. So, okay. All right. So, Gwen, I was going to go over something with Gwen a little bit too. I might as well go into that email that you sent me, Gwen. Welcome, area code 949, whoever you are. Welcome. Gwen, who is a Freight Broker 101 member, received an email from I'm thinking it's a shipper, Gwen. They didn't identify themselves, right, Gwen, as a broker or a shipper. What has me question it is, are they a ship? Did they say they were a shipper? Because in the email, the verbiage is as if they are a broker because they wanted to send you a carrier packet. That's why I was questioning whether they were a whether they were a broker or a shipper. So here's the email because you sent them. I think you got the script, like one of the scripts that I had put up in the I think it's in the back office here. Okay. So the company is here we are. I think it's NSS or something like that. Let me make sure. NSC. So they have a logo in here. Doesn't open up all the way. I want to make sure I get it right. National here we go. National Salvage. Okay, Charles, you're in, I see. National Salvage and Service Corporation. So when they sent, so you sent them the email who you were, Metro Knight as a student. You know, you have trucks in the area. Notice now this is an email that one of the students sent out to a potential shipper to get some traction going, some feedback. It's a generic one. Hey Kendra, we have trucks in your area. I've noticed you have short loads leaving from Kentucky, West Virginia. How to assist you moving? We're looking forward to working with you, building an ongoing relationship. So this is the response that she received from the company, National Salvage and Service Corporation. So, Kendra, by the way, Freddie and RBDS said he was wondering if someone wants to go in he's available. So, Freddie Mullins. So if you want to reach out to Freddie.
No, I already got a partner, and I can't do them like that.
Okay. I didn't know how solid that other person was. So.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll let them know that. Well, here's the response that I think it's either a shipper or a broker sent to Gwen, who's a member. She reached out to the shipper through email, and they responded as far as us inquiring about being on their load list. So they email us, tell what they do, how they do it, what they're looking for, and it's pretty concise. They need 45 to 48-foot flatbed that scales 48,000 pounds. Sometimes they use 53-foot trailers or step decks, depending on the job conditions. And in their locations where they move the freight, their yards, they have loads Monday through Friday year-round. Okay? So what they do is they haul railroad tracks, and things like that, and they break down and build up railroads all around the country, right, or in certain areas in this case. Their specific locations is Selma, Alabama, DeRidder, Louisiana, Burnsville, Mississippi, Dudley, North Carolina, and Leland, North Carolina. So, so now they're saying if you have available truck in a load, you must contact the dispatcher that this load is listed. So I'm almost tempted to reach back out to them and ask them, because they're right here, they're saying, please reply with a copy of your W-9 insurance and authority to this email, and then Jenny Wade. So if upon review everything meets our requirements, I will send you our carrier broker packet. So who sends a carrier broker? A shipper does not send a carrier broker packet. So that, Gwen, got me to wonder, well, are they brokers or are they shippers? That's the clue right there. I was wondering, so how that works. So, I will send you our carrier broker package so you can complete the setup process. Please let me know if you have any further questions. So the question will be, yeah, it sounds like a broker, Sergio. So if I were you, Gwen, because you started traction with her a little bit. So let's see if they are where are they? I can try. Good point. Tayshawn. Let me go ahead and try to reach out to her. It's late, and it's Friday, but it's all about timing. But we'll see. She's in Indiana. They may not be open.
Call is being forwarded to a Mitel voicemail system.
Voicemail.
Jenny Wade is not available. Please leave a message at the tone. When finished, you may hang up or press pound for additional options.
Hey, Jenny, when you get this call, can you call Charles Beck at Metromite Logistics, area code 757-515-1684. I know it's late Friday, so I can be reached first thing Monday morning. You can also reach this number through a text message. I just have a general question. One of our agents received an email from you. We're trying to clarify if you are a broker or shipper before we proceed forward. Again, call Charles at area code 757-515-1684. Thank you. Have a great weekend. So I'll just reach out to her, and that way we just get to traction and clarify, because I looked the company up and everything and did homework on them, but I wanted to make sure. So But great work, Gwen. So if you're on this platform as a student and you're reaching out to shippers and you get responses back and they want a packet, speaking of which, do you guys have, the ones who are enrolled into Freight Broker 101, do you guys have the Metro Knight Logistics shipper packet? So when you do reach out to shippers, when you decide to do that, I know Brandy has it, but does anyone else? Okay. Okay, so, and all of you guys are, let me double check. Okay, so Karen, Gwen, Felicia, I think Lita's not on the call, but Charles, Adair, and Sergio. So what I would do is I just want to check the list of the ones who are signed up with me. So I'm going to put my email here. Guys, email me, and because Kim is putting together a packet, like a professional packet with photos and stuff to send, but right now we do have a shipper packet finalized and complete. So for those of you who are ready to call shippers or deal with shippers, go ahead and email me and say, Charles, send me the shipper packet so you can have it to forward to them. And then when they send it back to you, send your email to this email asking me for the shipper packet, right? But when you get the shipper packet back, I need you to send it to this email and put your name in it so I'll know it's you who's associated with that account. And here's the email right here. That way, as we move loads for your specific account, we know who to pay, who to get that 35% commission to per load while you are a student on the platform. Then once you leave off an agent either under Metro Knight or someone else, you go ahead and take your book of business with you and your commission, whatever that is going to be when you decide with that specific broker, whether it's Kim or another broker. Right now, send me the email to Exodus Logistics LLC at yahoo.com asking me for a shipper packet, and I will send you Metro Knight's, where is it at? Right here, the shipper packet. This is Metro Knight's shipper packet that you will, 7 pages that you will use to forward to potential prospects, customers, shippers, okay? So, I'm going to scroll through it. I don't know why my computer's acting up. There we go. So we got the formal, the introduction, the credit application page, and then the authority of the brokerage, the bond of the brokerage, 2-page copy of it, the insurance of the brokerage, and the W-9 of the brokerage. Just the basic. That's a basic shipper packet, the bare minimum that a shipper needs, because the shipper's not going to have time to read through everything. And the only thing that they're going to fill out and return, all this other stuff is just for them to see that you are qualified as a brokerage. You'll know your 9 for the brokerage, your insurance for the brokerage, and then your bond, your $75,000 bond, and then your authority. The only thing that they're going to fill out in return is the credit application, so the factory company or the brokerage can run the credit of the shipper to see what line of credit they can give to them starting out, or that they qualify for starting out, sorry. And then an introduction, the actual introduction and shipper broker agreement. That's, short and sweet to the point. Nothing long and drawn out. So, okay? So send me the you guys are quick. Okay. Who is Chief and KP's transport? Is that Kendra?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, so you just okay.
And it's for both of us, but he'll take care of his, okay? Next week.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send you an email, and what I will need from you, just your full name, cell number, and a good contact email. Of course, I have it in that. I'm assuming I can use the same email that you sent PayPal through with.
Right.
Okay, and then if you can, because I don't know what this person is now, but reach out to them and get their full name, cell number, and email. That way I can put you guys into the spreadsheet as being members, and then get you all set up with the passwords and all that stuff so you can get to the back area and that way. So you can do that over the weekend, and but you guys are official, so.
Well, put me on this list you're talking about today.
Huh?
Put me on that list for today. Kendra Pruitt at Hotmail. That thing you sending out today?
Oh, the shipper packet.
I don't know what I need it for, but send it.
Yeah, you just have the shipper packet is what you use because you are a shipper, but if you're training, the shipper packet is your opportunity to train under the company that I work for, Metro Night Logistics, where if you are taking the skills that you're going to learn in this training and practice going out to try to find shippers. Mm-hmm. See, some brokers train, they'll train you and say, okay, this is how you do it. You make the cold calls, or you visit local shippers or customers locally and talk to them and things like that. And you go through the training for a certain period of time, and then they let you loose, and then you go do it yourself.
Right.
I'm trying to take a step further. While you're training, I'm giving you an opportunity to do it in the training. Reach out to customers and talk to them with established brokerage who's been in business for at least a year, going on 18 months now. So now you're under an umbrella of an established brokerage as opposed to being a brand new broker where you'll go to a shipper and they'll say, well, okay, if you come to me as a shipper and you're brand new, you have no book of business, no experience, then they're going to say, okay, well, they're going to be reluctant because you have no credit, you have nothing established. They're going to be reluctant to give you an opportunity to move loads for them. So,
okay.
And we can refer to the tidbits here too. Let me see, because I was doing some other training. Charles says, on behalf of Charles Mundy's brokerage, are you welcoming Kendra, Charles? What you just typed there, I'm assuming. Another guy on the platform, his name is Charles also. I guess he's welcoming you, Kendra. So Charles, you would say on behalf of me, you would say just put Metro Night Logistics or Metro Night, because it's not my brokerage. I'm just one of the account executives, I guess you would say. And then while I'm training you guys will be under my umbrella, so that's why everything is funneled through that Exodus at Metro Night emails, so I can keep track of who got what customer. So, okay, I understand. Anyway, I want to cover a few tidbits here. And by the way, welcome, Kendra. Welcome to. We got two new members who just joined just now. Everybody, Kendra Pruitt and I don't know the other gentleman. I don't know the gentleman's name she's bringing on with her, but welcome to him too. And I'm not sure if he's on tonight. So broker tidbit, on the broker side, you want to build relationships with your customers and shippers. So, and if I'm a shipper, these are some of the questions that you want to know before giving away freight. Shippers want to ask you, are you going to pick up my freight on time? Are you going to get my customers on time without destroying the freight? And are you going to be there when I call for you? I was at Wednesday. I was at Shipper Wednesday, and these are some of the questions that they asked me. So So if you cold calling is fine, and you can cold call all day. You can make yourself a plan like I want to do 25 to 50 calls a day, 75 cold calls a day. But nothing is better than actually going to a local shipper or customer, going to the gatekeeper, the receptionist, asking to speak to the person in charge of logistics, in charge of shipping, and sitting down and talking to them. And you got about a minute to pitch yourself. And at some point, you don't want to go empty-handed, whether you bring a business card, flyers, the actual shipper packets, some ink pens, or what have you. We're trying to see if we can get some ink pens, some Metro Knight ink pens, and I'm going to eventually get with Kim and get your guys' addresses and ship them out to you, things like that. So, because you don't want to go into an area, your local area, empty-handed. So, people are saying it's hard to find shippers, it's hard to search for shippers and things like that. Speaking of which, let me recommend some books for you too. In dispatcher training, I recommended the Millionaire Next Door book. That's a good read. And also, this is good for brokers. You Can Negotiate Anything by Herb Cohen. That's a good book to read. So, but let me show you guys something real quick. As far as finding shippers, I don't even got to leave the house. All right. So you can go to your shippers list. Oh, put the names of the books. Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody said that earlier too. Let me put the names of the books in here for you. Millionaire Next Door. It talks about the difference between income and wealth, right? And understanding how the wealthy stay wealthy and what they do. They're very frugal. So they don't spend their money, blow their money on nonsense. They invest their money and let the money work for them, which is wise. That's the first one, The Millionaire Next Door. The second one I'm reading, I'm almost done with The Millionaire Next Door. I can't put it down. I'll be at the gym on the treadmill jogging, reading books. People think I'm crazy. But there's nothing like getting into a good book where you can't put it down. You know it's good. You can't put it down. So You Can Negotiate Anything by Herb Cohen. So those are two good books. So that second one didn't come in. Oh, there it is. Okay. So can you guys see my screen? I want to put some product up. I just went into my kitchen cabinet and just grabbed some stuff. Can you see that? Okay. I just randomly went into my cabinet and just grabbed some stuff that's in the cabinet, right? Sunflower seeds, mixed nuts, right? The clothes on my back. So the point I want to make it with this part is that on the back of these products are the names of the shippers who manufactured and moved these products to their customers, who are the stores. So, for example, Felicia says she can't see me. So, Felicia, are you the only one that can't see me? Well, I'm recording it, so you can go back and play it. We can't see my screen. I shared my screen. Let me go back. So, Karen says she can see me. Tashawn says he cannot. Let me get out and go back in. Let me share my screen. So I can see the screen, but I can't see you. Interesting. Randy says, you and screen. So it's nothing on my end. So okay, so
hey Charles, are you still got the broker tidbit sheet up still up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I see that, but yeah, I just can't see you on there.
Okay, my camera light is not on. Let me turn it on.
Gotcha.
There we go. There we go. So my camera's on. So yeah. So if you can see me, I'm holding up Southern Grove sunflower kernels, roasted, unsalted. Yes, Sergio just said, so yeah, that's a good homework assignment, Sergio. Sergio just grabbed a box of sea candies from his cabinet. And yes, the manufacturer's like, oh. So if you want to find a shipper, just like you can go into Walmart, any section in Walmart, the cereal aisle, produce aisle, or whatever, and look at the back of the products where they're manufactured from. Those are the shippers. So if everybody can see the screen, this is Southern Grove sunflower kernels, roasted unsalted, right? So this relates to the cold calling part of it. If you're looking for shippers, if you don't trust the shipper call lists or anything online, you can actually get real products that ship from real shippers and call those shippers and start a dialogue that way, right? So you can be at home and just grab some stuff out your cabinet. So this one, for example, Southern Grove kernel. So I look at the back of it. It says it's distributed by Aldi Incorporated in Batavia, Ohio. Batavia, Illinois. I'm sorry. So Brandy, that's your area. So your Aldi's is a corporate headquarters in Batavia. Are you familiar with that, Brandy? The Aldi's distribution center? So what I do, I would Google them. So use Google as your, see, there you go. So so if they're local to you, I would physically go visit them, set up an appointment to talk to someone or anything like that, and go from there. But Google is the best friend, right? So this is Aldi Incorporated, and there it is, Batavia, Illinois. So the same product I have in my hand is manufactured and shipped from this location. So I just found a shipper. And then just go to their website. So now they have a website, and I'm sure they got people to contact us. Look at that. Corporate information. So now we can search for corporate information and who the suppliers. Because Aldi is a distributor. So who supplies Aldi? So now you're dealing with inbound and outbound freight when you're dealing with brokers and shipping. You're just not dealing with outbound freight, right? Who makes the product that needs to be shipped out? So who are the producers of that product? So it's two sides to shipping. There's inbound as well as outbound freight when it comes to shipping. So that's that one, right? I got Swiss Miss. So you get the point, right? Swiss Miss. So you guys can use that as a practice over the weekend just to get an idea of how to research and look for shippers that way. Or the number one way, that's number one. Number two is cold calling, of course, from a list. We got our list. I'll be supplying the list. If you haven't gotten, I think I've given you guys the list, but I'll get the list for you, and I'll put it in the back office for members as a constant, so you can refer to that, the different links and things like that, and go from there. But this is Swiss Miss. Well, most grocery stores, actually, they do both, especially their distribution centers, too. So they do both, inbound and outbound. Well, most of them are inbound because they're receiving. You're right, Felicia. I apologize. They are receiving from the distributors in the grocery store. So they are inbound. They're not outbound. Outbound is when customers come and buy their products and go home. That's outbound. So most grocery stores, you are correct, Felicia, they are inbound from their distributors. Like Aldi is a distributor, they'll bring those products into the store. So that's inbound freight. That is correct. So now the question becomes, well, where is that inbound freight coming from? So now you have another target to go after. Not only do you go after Aldi, you can go after the target that brought all these products into Aldi's. All those products that come in there, where are they coming from? And how are they being shipped to Aldi? What mode of transportation? What equipment type? Normally, obviously, if it's a grocery store, most people are going to assume either van for dry goods and reefer for refrigerated goods, right? So you just now you're putting your thinking cap on. You see? So, but Swiss Miss is ConAgra Foods in Omaha, Nebraska. So I can make a list of people who I'm going to call on Monday over the weekend based off of the stuff that's in my house. Or I can go to Walmart on a regular day and just go down the aisles and just take snapshots or pictures of it, you know, or while I'm shopping with the wife and get information like that. One second. Hello, Charles. Can I help you?
Hey, Charles, it's Enrique.
Hey, Enrique. ¿Cómo estás, amigo?
Bien. Do you speak Spanish?
No, poquito. Very little. So.
Good.
Okay, how can I help you?
I came out the paperwork for my company, so I don't know if you even tried to look at it.
You emailed it to what email?
I emailed to the email you emailed to me.
Which was Exodus Logistics LLC or?
LLC.
Yeah, Exodus Logistics LLC at yahoo.com.
I think that one is. You emailed this morning.
Yeah, let me double check because I don't see. Oh, okay, yeah. Print Express scan for Batista. Yeah. Yeah, you went to a print store. So let me excuse me for a second. Let me double check this real quick. This is a reefer carrier returning information. So I see 5 pages. Just want to make sure that you sent the right forms that I asked for. Okay, Batista Transport, your authority. You just got it the 15th of March. Okay. I didn't need your insurance card, although it's good to have for the VIN number and everything. You sent that twice. Oh, you sent the truck and trailer. Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Okay, the W-9. So I need. Okay, so I tell you what. Give me Are you going to be available tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'll call you tomorrow because I'm gonna send out a new dispatch agreement to you. Since it's your company, I need you to fill out a dispatch agreement between you and I, so I can start dispatching for you. Even though Gabriel is going to be the driver, since it's your company, I need the owner of the company to be on the dispatch agreement.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You understand why I'm saying that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and you got about half of the materials that I need for a complete agreement between you and I before I can start finding those for you. So that's why I want to call you Saturday, so we'll get everything in place for Monday, so we can start finding loads for you. Okay.
Okay. No problem. Let me know when we send it to you.
Okay. Hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. All right.
Buenas noches.
Yep, buenas noches. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, sorry guys. That was a new reefer guy who wanted to sign up. But he sent incomplete information. I'm glad he called me, and I'm glad I saw that. He sent it from like a Kinko's place, but he didn't send out the complete package. So I don't even got an agreement. So anyway, sorry for that disturbance. But you guys got to hear me talk to a carrier, so that's another thing. So that's cool. I mean, I'm not the best person, but anyway. So we were on Swiss Miss. So it could be a weekend thing for you guys, like if you're using your time. I like that, where you find you're searching for carriers based off the products that's in your own home, you can make a list of about 10 shippers called maybe 20 based off of the products that are in your home. Like this is ConAgra Foods out of Omaha, Nebraska. So I'm sure they make more than the Swiss Miss products, but ConAgra Foods headquarters. Let me just Omaha. Like Peyton Manning says, Omaha. There we go. So ConAgra in Omaha, Swiss Miss. So that's them. That's their logo right there. Okay. So you do pretty much do the same thing. The company information, the overview, what they do, things like that, who to contact, who their retailers and suppliers are. So you want their suppliers. So who supplies them? Inbound and outbound. So this is some of the ways to do research on companies. I got Southern Grove, Southern Peanuts. This Aldi's is the same company. They make. My wife shops at Aldi's and gets the peanuts from. Simple Truth. It's another company. So that's just one way to look for carriers. I mean, not carriers. Look for customers, shippers. That's one method of doing it. But I was at a shipper. I went to, Wednesday and yesterday. I went to about 4 shippers locally, and one of the ones asked me a question, which was that's why I put it on here in tidbits. And these are legitimate questions from shippers. Are you going to pick up my freight on time? Because before I sign a shipper broker packet with you, Mr. Potential Broker, are you going to pick up my stuff on time? Are you going to get it to my customer on time without destroying it with your carriers? And if I call you, am I going to be able to get a hold of it? Because shippers are worried about their freight getting to their customers because there's a lot of money involved. So if you can't answer those questions, then let's see, Anonymous said, which is Kendra, my neighbor has a sheetrock business. I'm not sure how big their business is. Does it matter how big the business is? Start with the small mom and pop companies because they're just as willing to get their products to customers as the bigger people are, the big box boys are. And they may be willing to pay to do that. Anonymous. Charles said, these shippers have many brokers working on their loads. That is correct. So they won't mind you calling when they already have brokers. That is correct in some cases. Other cases, if I'm local, like I'm in the Virginia area around like a lot of military bases and a lot of industrial business parks. So as I drive out in my neighborhood in my different cities, I stay in the 7 cities like Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Suffolk, Virginia area. There's so many local companies. Why not just pull up into one and go inside and spark a conversation up? They're like right there. So go in there and talk. So do you provide time and delivery? No, you just answer those questions open-endedly. You know, are you going to pick up it on time? Yes. You know, we have proven carriers. Our carriers have been vetted out. They're approved carriers. They've been screened out, FMCSA approved. Everything's been checked out, blah, 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 right? Are you going to get it to the customers on time? Yeah, again, this deals with the carriers. Our carriers are safety regulated. We do maintenance checks, things like that. Make sure that we follow up with them every so often. Make sure that they're running pretty good. If they have any problems with the trucks, they reach out to us, things like that. Or our carriers communicate with us effectively so we can make sure that your load is getting to its destination effectively. Because, say, for example, when you do start brokering, you will have a situation. You will, I can promise you will, because it's happened to me. You will have a situation where one of your carriers may break down or may have a flat or something like that, and they're under a load. So now what do? If you got a carrier that's on I-95 in, let's see, where's a tough spot in 90? D.C. Or not D.C., but in Maryland, in that little narrow bottleneck area in Maryland, like Laurel and then Largo and whatever, and they're in a bottleneck area right there doing rush hour, broke down tire. You got to call a tire service to have that flat changed. But as a broker, you need to communicate with your customer, the shipper, let them know like we're running a little late, or whatever the dialogue is going to be with the shipper. You have to communicate with the shipper so they would know, because they're the one who is paying you. So what happens? What's the contingency plan when unexpected things happen as a broker? What are some of the things that you do? You're going to come across that. It's going to happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. So how do you get in front of that? How do you prepare yourself for that? So let's see. So here's some. I got a conversation with a guy. This is one of the things he said. Says this is a script that I said. I'm in trucking and the transportation industry. I literally said this. I'm in trucking and the transportation industry. I have checked you guys out, which I did. It was one of the local persons in the area that I visit. I did my research before I went to them. There's no point in going into a company locally and talking to someone in person if you haven't done your homework about that company, researched them, found out what they shipped, found out how they shipped it. So I said, I know what you move. I know how you do it. I do not claim to know everything, but I want to work for you guys. What is your biggest problem? Because that's what you're there for. You're trying to solve a problem. What is your biggest problem? Where do you need help? How can I help? You know, and this is what you say, and you put it in your own words, but this is some of the things you say after you introduce yourself, say who you are. I'm Charles, Metro Knight Logistics, we're a freight brokerage, and then you go into your, I'm in the trucking, transportation industry, blah, 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 and you get to the meat of what you're there for, and you're there to provide a service and to solve a problem, and now you ask an open-ended question, what is your biggest problem? Because I'm sure they have some lanes that they ship in that are not as productive as other lanes. Freight doesn't move as well in some of these lanes, so that's their pain points. So they're saying, well, man, if I can get some trucks to go from here to here, that would be ideal. These other lanes are fine. I mean, they're moving steadily. I got trucks moving there, but I'm having trouble getting to my customers in this lane. So can you help me there? And then you ask them, okay, well, what's the lane? Well, I need to go for me, it's like Norfolk, Virginia to Baltimore, Maryland for a reefer. That's the lane. So now I got to come up with a quote. So this is said in person to the logistics and the shipping person. So, and then you also have criteria for considering bringing on new carriers. So as a freight agent or a broker, not only are you dealing with the shipper side, you're also dealing with carriers, bringing them under the brokerage as approved carriers to run loads for your customers who are the shippers. So now they can be assets. Once that carrier, I found this out from a large shipper person. She told me, and I'm not sure how true it is. Someone else can provide feedback, because I don't claim to know anything or everything. But she said once you put your information on the certificate of insurance, once you become the certificate holder on that carrier's certificate of insurance for your brokerage, for them to run loads for you, that carrier now is an asset in your brokerage. So now you're an asset-based brokerage. It makes sense, but I want to confirm it for sure with other people. I'm going to ask someone else. But it does make sense. If you are made the certificate holder on the certificate of insurance of the carrier that you're trying to, they fill out the carrier packet. With the carrier packet, they return the W-9, the certificate of insurance, and the MC authority. And if on the certificate of insurance, they put your brokerage, let me open up one for you. They put your brokerage down as a certificate holder. Now that carrier becomes an asset in your brokerage right here, right? So if you put Metro Knight Logistics down under ABC Trucking, for example, that's the trucking company under the insured. The producer is the insurance company. The insured is the actual trucking company. Let's say, for example, ABC Trucking. So if you put, for us, Metro Knight Logistics down as a certificate holder, now they become an asset under your brokerage. So now you can use that as leverage when you go to shippers to get their business, to get their loads, get their freight. So now, with that being said, let me ask this leading question. Here's the question. As a broker, do I get carriers or shippers first? That's an important question. let's open that up for discussion a little bit before I go back to this. Okay, Brandy says carriers. Sergio says shippers. A lot of people saying shippers. You're going to be surprised what you hear. Once we post the loads, the carriers will call. Anonymous said, I don't know. So, okay, good points, everybody. So let's attack it from both sides. If you're going after the shippers and the shippers are asking you, okay, if I give you these loads, do you have carriers right now to move those loads? Do you have any assets whatsoever to move the loads? If you tell that shipper no, do you think what's the chance of that shipper giving you their loads to move? Right. So again, let me ask the question. When you, as a new broker, do you get carriers first or shippers first? So in other words, if you walk into a shipper, like if you go into a gunfight without ammo, are you going to be able to defend yourself? I'd rather go to a fight with ammo than to shoot blanks. Right, carriers, because now herein lies the dilemma. Herein lies the dilemma with that. It's get carriers. When you sign carriers up for the brokers, make sure that you make sure that the carrier put your brokerage as a certificate holder on their certificate of insurance. So if that concept or that point is true, where if you are the certificate holder on the certificate of insurance for the carrier, that carrier becomes an asset under your brokerage. If that's true, I'm going to reconfirm that for sure. But if that's true, that means, say you get 10 flatbeds, 10 reefers, 10 dry vans as approved carriers under your brokerage, right? And then you go to a shipper to get loads. So now you walk into a shipper. Now you got ammo. You got 30 assets coming into a shipper. So now they're going to say, okay, do you got any assets? Yeah. Yeah, be careful with that, Charles. You say I will BS the shipper just a bit to get that load. Yeah, be careful with that because shippers deal with a lot of brokers, some of them can kind of sense some of that. So you don't want to put yourself in a no-win situation. I would just be careful with that. Just my opinion. Now, if you got a strategy on how you BS them and it's effective, then that's your choice. But I'm just saying, be careful with it. That's my advice. I'm not discouraging you or encouraging you to do it. I'm just saying, be careful. Right. Right. And let me give you a point about the load boards. Let me tell you something that's like I told in dispatcher one-on-one training. Yeah, Brandy, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Brandy wants to say something. Do you need me to unmute you, Brandy? Let me unmute you. No, you can't. I can't unmute you. Brandy wants to say.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, I can hear you.
So this is for Charles. I think it's a bad move only because you are trying to get like a name for yourself. That would give you a bad name if you say, okay, I have these truck drivers who could do it but can't. So even though we can post on the load boards, if you don't have carriers, we got to go through a lot of stuff to make sure that these people or drivers can even drive for us. You know, they might have 3 accidents or, you know, like whatever the case is. So now this load is just, you know what I'm saying, sitting there, and you can have a really good shipper with like, you know what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say. You can have a really good shipper who pays well, but then now you lose that shipper because you was not telling the truth. So, in my opinion, you should make sure you are honest and just, you know what I'm saying, make sure you have your carriers. My opinion.
Charles asks, how are they going to verify it? And he says, no way we can have carriers everywhere all the time. That is true. So that leads into my next point, Charles. That's why I call this map here. And I'm going to go back to the tidbits, because this tidbits I created based off of my going to the shippers this past Wednesday and Thursday and the conversations that I had. So criteria for bringing on new carriers that I am considering, and I want you guys to consider. You don't have to do this. It's just a suggestion. When you're considering bringing on new carriers, when you're talking, when a carrier wants to come onto a brokerage, or you're talking to carriers, try to get them on, you want to find out how many trucks they have, what are their assets, what are they, whether they're flatbeds, drive-ins, or reefer. Where are they based? And then how often do you put trucks here being where you have your shippers freight. So when you remember when we first started this Freight Broker 101, I was asking one of the strategies that we need to work on. Okay, yeah. It's the same as you can carry as a dispatch. Yeah, it is. Remember when we first started Freight Broker 101, we were saying we were going to go after shippers in areas or states starting out. There is freight in like Butte, Montana or whatever, or Billings, Montana, but we want to go after shippers in states where freight moves more prevalently and more frequently than other states. Now, I'm not saying that state freight doesn't move in these areas, but the likelihood of you getting more freight in Ohio and Columbus than you are in Butte, Montana is a little bit different. So if you select a states like Ohio, go over to Texas, and in the South region like Georgia, now you have like a triangular mesh of states that you can focus on shippers. So now if say you land 2 shippers in each of those states, like Ohio, Texas, and Georgia area. So now you got shippers, and each of those shippers covers the 3 equipment types: drive-ins, flatbeds, reefers, right? So now all you have to do now is focus on carriers who are based in those states, so now you can move loads for those shippers in those states. Does that make sense? You see? And you can set up your own virtual dedicated lane in a triangular kind of format. Most new brokers, sometimes they'll start off with just find, okay, I just want to land a shipper just anywhere. And they may or may not do the research on the areas where most freight come out of. That's why it's good for you guys who come over to Freight Broker 101, having to have come from Dispatcher 101, because as you are dispatching your carriers that you have on the dispatch agreement, you notice on the rate confirmation of those loads that you're booking, the locations of the shippers that the carriers are picking up loads from. You see them all the time. Sometimes you'll see a pattern. You'll see some consistencies. So by seeing that on the dispatcher side, why not target those areas that you see your carriers being dispatched out of as going after as freight agents for those shippers on the broker side? Make sense? So my mentality, or what I'm trying to get at, we're trying to think smarter and not harder. You know, we don't want to be like hamsters in the spinning wheel. We want to strategize different methods of doing it more effectively and more efficiently. So why not? We know that the Midwest states are the game states. These state moves out all the time here. So we can target any of these states: Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan, Wisconsin. These Midwest states, all types of freight move out of here. Reefer loads, drive-in loads, flatbed loads. There's lumber over here, Pennsylvania, the mountains over here, West Virginia, all the lumber loads, and then Kentucky. So We know there. So now we gotta, if we want to set up a triangular format, keep our shippers happy and our carriers under our brokerage happy, then we can set up either a triangular or even a square format where we just run. We have shippers set up strategically in different states where the loads move strategically. And I said, I noticed when shippers post loads, they don't require you to fill out a carrier pack. No, they do not, because they're not signing you up under a broker carrier agreement. All shippers want is to verify that you're saying direct shippers dealing with carriers. All they want is to verify that you are a carrier with your MC authority. They want to verify you have enough insurance to cover what's required under their insurance as under the shipper, and they want to know that you are a legitimate business with the W-9 with your federal tax ID number. So, and Charles said, I don't see how. I'm assuming that it's following up to another question. Charles, you have to elaborate that for me. So, back to the load board thing. Correct. The broker takes ownership of the loads they give you. That's why a broker needs a bond. That is correct. Now, not all loads are on the load boards. There are some good loads that are not even posted on load boards. Did you guys know that? So when we go to load boards looking for loads, we're thinking that the load boards are the be-all, end-all for finding good freight, and that's not the case. If you can there are some shippers who have good-paying loads that do not post them on the load board. So here comes the next question. Well, how in the world are we going to find them? How in the world are we going to find shippers who don't post their loads on load boards?
Charles?
Right. Yes.
Charles, is that when you go to the load boards and you see a little sign on the side? Most of the times I've seen it on the right-hand side. It says premium loads. Is that what that is?
I'm not sure. I have to go. Which load board did you see that on?
On Trucker's Path.
Okay. I will look at that. We'll look at that in a second. Brandy says some shippers deal with a carrier and not a broker sometimes. That's correct. Shippers, there are shippers who deal directly with carriers. I used to work with one based in Houston and in the Midwest. They're called Gravity Tab Truck Pack. They did not deal with brokers at all. And you went online, the carriers went online and uploaded their W-9 certificate of insurance and MC authority to their website portal, and then the carriers got access to the loads through there and booked their loads themselves directly with the shipper on that website. So I know for a fact that there are shippers who deal directly with carriers because I used to work with one. So because they bypass the broker, because the reason they don't deal with brokers is because they want this specific shipper wanted to pass the savings on to the carrier, because if you put a middleman in a broker from a shipper's perspective, then the broker's taking money from the carrier. The shipper can care less in the sense because they have a target rate. $5,000, it's non-negotiable. I'm selling this load. I need it moved from here to here, and I'm only paying $5,000 to do that. Now, a broker can get in the middle of that and make his cut, or I can give it directly to the carrier and let them handle it. So there's options there. So from a carrier's perspective, I would rather deal with a shipper directly and save all the money and take the broker out. But we're in broker 101 right now. So we're trying to get in that middle and see if we can help shippers move those loads quicker by building up a carrier list, a carrier database, and we're coming to the shipper saying, hey, I got 100 carriers. I can more than cover your volume for you on a regular basis. So So if you're a broker, Charles says if you're a broker, the shipper requires a shipper broker packet. That is correct. And we as brokers get the broker carrier packet from the kid. That is correct. So that is correct, Charles. So under the packets, so as a broker, you are the middleman. So under the packets area under Freight Broker 101 here, we have the different packet types. You have the shipper broker packet where you get set up, you get your customer, you get set up with your customer, and in other words, you get contracted to run the loads for your shipper, your customer. So now you got the loads. On broker carrier package, you're getting the carriers approved under your brokerage to run the loads for your customer. So Charles, you are absolutely correct. And let's see here. But you're going to come across when dealing with shippers that they don't post the loads on the load board. They don't want to put their loads on the load board. And they just want to deal with brokers or carriers directly. Let me see, where was I at? Packets. Go on to that section there. Right now, as your agent, do you have us listed as employee or self-employed? Right, you are not my agent right now, Charles. You are students on Freight Broker 101 training. When you come up under, as agents, when you come up under Metro Knight Logistics as an agent under Metro Knight, the broker, who is Kim, she will talk to you directly, and that'll be between you and her to set up a freight agent contract with her. While you are students on this training, and you find shippers and you get them signed up under Metro Knight, and we move those loads for those shippers that you brought in, I am willing to split my 70% commission with you while you are a student under this training. And I'm going to put together a documentation to substantiate that. At what point do you decide that we are credible to be an agent? That's not my decision. That's yours. You and I, like, let's say you and I, for example, you working for a few weeks, a few months. I think a good way to decide if you're credible or not, if you understand the process of what it is to be a freight agent, to the point where you actually get a shipper to say, hey, send over a shipper packet. So to answer that question is, at what point do you decide that we are credible to be an agent? My one-word answer, results. Results. So if you can get a shipper to say, send me over a shipper packet, or what does BAM mean? B-A-M. Is that an acronym for something? Oh, yeah, results. So here's the high level, guys. Here's the high level of a freight agent. You get a shipper, right? They send you loads every day to get those loads moved. So let me give you a little tour of what we do, or what I do. In my email. I should have a load list on the okay, load list on the desktop. All right. So this is just a sample of one. It's actually a load list. This is Tampa International Forest Products out of Florida. This is a load list that's sent. So as an agent, you'll get an email every day from a shipper sending you loads that they want moved. And mind you, other brokers are getting the same thing, right? So you go into your load board, post these loads. Of course, these are the shipper rates, right? So you want to mark in your rate, So if you want to sell this load for, if you want to make $100 off of this load, this first load number 1, Albertville, Alabama to Haines City, Florida. If you want to make $100 off that load and it moves, what are you going to post that load for on the load board so the carrier can see, and if they're interested, give you a call back for details about that load and try to get set up to approve carrier to move that load? What will you post that load for? Remember, this rate column is what the shipper is selling the rate to you, the broker, for. It's not what you post the load for. 1,200. Good job, Sergio. So, if you sell it for 1,200, that means 1,200 by the loaded miles, 563, 2.13 cents a mile. Correct. So, $2.13 a mile. You could book this 2 to 3 days. Now, this specific shipper's specifications or requirements or how they work. They will negotiate. You have up to 2 to 3 days to book the loads out. So it gives you a little wiggle room to try to find carriers. So with this one, I'm calling them all the time and saying, hey, is load number 1 gone? They'll say, no, it's still there. Okay, I'll go ahead and move it. Hey, is load number 4 gone? Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's already covered. So I'm constantly calling. Okay, is it gone? Is it gone? Is it covered? Is it covered? It's gone. So 2 to 3 days out, call for rates. You can negotiate. Hey, I want to, let's do it for 15. Can you do load number 1 for 15? Now I'm talking to the shipper now, direction. I'm either talking to either Scott or Barb, mostly Barb when I call. When I call Tampa, I'm usually talking to Barb. She's a sweet old lady. She has a country accent. Hey, Charles, how you doing there? Something like that. That's how she talks. So, right. Because they're moving in volume. It's lumber, loads, and their flatbeds are coming to their yards all the time. And they have yards in different cities, different states, I'm sorry. They got them in Alabama, Georgia, Illinois, Mississippi, Missouri, North Carolina, so on and so forth, Virginia. So they got Tennessee. They got yards all over the place. So they have loads. So flatbeds are coming in there all the time, and New York, coming in all the time to move loads. So once you call, and you call about a load, now what I'm doing, I'm cherry picking because I know some of these loads, even if I can't negotiate, I'm cherry picking, trying to find the higher end loads to get them moved quicker, and then I'll work on the crappy ones later. Flatbed loads are hard to move because they don't want to pay that much. That's number 1. Just go in and just so you know, if you're dealing with, although flatbed carriers are the easiest entry point into this space as far as dry vans, flatbeds, and reefers, flatbed lumber loads are hard to move. Flatbed steel pipe loads are easier to move in the flatbed category than flatbed lumber loads. Just so you know, just FYI, okay? So you know. So, and then of the 3 equipment types, get started easily in as far as going after shippers to start off calling as a broker or an agent. Flatbeds are the easiest one to start calling and getting. You know why? Because their loads are harder to move, so they're more willing to give you a chance to move their loads, so the shippers are more willing to say, hey, send me a shipper packet. You see the logic in that? Because their loads are harder to move, they're willing to bring on more brokers because as a shipper, I'm trying to increase the number of brokers that I have trying to move my loads for me, so the likelihood of those loads moving with the higher number of brokers increases. You see how that makes sense? So then that's from a shipper's perspective. No, when you tell them you want the load, they do not send a Raycon. They'll send you a load tender. But also, too, if you are using a TMS system, let me show you how it works, because it works quicker if you do it electronically, Charles. So when you set up shipper, you want to make sure that they are EDI enabled in their system, so you can send data electronically back and forth between the shipper and the brokerage. So let me go into Ascend. We use Ascend TMS, Transportation Management System. They don't send Raycoms. The brokers produce the Raycoms based off of the load tenders that are sent by the shippers. Okay, that's how that works. So if you can say you get a load, so let's follow your example for now. So you call the shipper and say, hey, I got a carrier for that load. Okay, let's say, okay, I'm gonna send you a load tender. So they're gonna send it electronically these days. Sometimes you got some shippers who still send email copies of load tenders, and you got to manually enter that information into your TMS system to produce a rate confirmation. But nowadays we have what's called EDI/tenders. EDI stands for electronic data interchange. What it is you're syncing between the shipper's system and your system as a broker. So when they send a load tender, they're going to send it electronically. So when you go to loads and build the load, all you got to do now is look for your shipper that you got that EDI enabled, EDI connection between, and that tender is already in there. It's already in there, and that data is already in there. And all you got to do is change a few things. You just change the shipper to the carrier, and you change the rate that the shipper sold it to the rate that you want to quote it to. So when you produce a rate comp, you will send it to the carrier. So under the tenders, incoming tenders right here, we have none right now, but incoming tenders is where the shipper will send that tender to you, and you'll go to incoming tenders, and if there are some there, it'll show up, and you'll be able to click on that, and that data will automatically pop into your system to start building that load. So load tendering right there. That's how that works. You follow that, Charles? So it's more of an electronic interchange now as opposed to paper being attached to an email and sent over, and then you got to open it up and manually enter that data. So, okay. Do you follow that, Charles? You understand that part? Right. Charles asked, what's the best way to get the carrier checked out? If we have a load tomorrow with a new carrier, then it might not be movable. There's several ways. You got Carrier 411. You have your own vetting system for your brokerage that you've set up already established. Your factoring company is going to run credit for them because your factoring company is going to make sure that they're on the up and up. You check their scores too. You can go to Safer and check them out. You know, once you get the information back from your carrier, now I'm assuming you're saying that a new carrier that you're trying to get set up to your brokerage as an approved carrier so you can run a load for a shipper, right? Is that what you're saying, Charles? So the first way is the main way is it depends on the factoring company, Charles. There are several factoring companies that operate a little bit quicker. So you'd be better served to do it. Yeah, just do a little homework on some of the features of a factory. Decide with one for a brokerage. Foley's, Interstate Capital, TBS. Who else? There's a few others to do homework on, and then check out the features that they have and see if those features of that factory company line up with the philosophy of what your brokerage is trying to do. And if then you can consider bringing that factory company on as a customer of yours. But the number one way as far as the carriers is just go to their go to the Safer site and check them out and go from there. Okay, while I'm thinking about it, let me send the shipper package out before I forget to everybody. Sent me an email. Any questions while I'm doing that? While I'm doing this? Shipper packet. You lost. Okay, so I'm gonna put. Yeah, Kendra, send me the email to my email so I can reply to it. So just, here's my email, Kendra. Here's the email I want you guys to, that's the email I want you to send me an email to asking for the shipper packet. So then when you get it when you get it back from a shipper, here's the email that I want to you guys to reply to me saying, hey, Charles, I got a shipper pack. Here's the shipper packet earned from the potential customer, and my name is such and such. So I can document who got what customers, and keep track of who loads, who to pay for what loads that got moved. So, okay. And I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to show you guys Exodus at Metro Night. Oh, by the way, too, the broker said she's going to be on the next call. She couldn't make it on this week's call, the actual broker, so you can have questions for the broker live as well. So that's Gwen. So yours is there, Gwen. It's on its way. Who's next? Okay, that's Kendra's. Felicia. Okay. Send you the shipper packet. And I'm gonna ask Kim too. Did I send out the shippers directory? Because she purchased a shippers directory. I'm gonna ask Kim if I can send you guys the directory. I know Brand has it, but the shippers directory is a large directory of contacts. The 2018-19 LTL and FTL current directory of shippers, addresses, things like that. So, shippers packet. Someone had a question. Let me see. Oh, you're welcome. Felicia. Okay. And then the Exodus. I'm putting in each email the email that you're going to reply to when you get back the shipper package from a potential customer, okay? The Exodus at metronite.com. Just so you know. Okay, Karen. Yep, and everybody everybody who are members are the ones who are getting, I can't send this shipper packet to non-members, of course, because it's a shipper packet directly from a live brokerage that I am contractually obligated to. So, Tayshawn, I thought Tayshawn had it, but that's cool. If you don't, that's fine. Let me send it to you. And if you have a question, if you can unmute yourself, go ahead and ask it. Question.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, this is Felicia?
Yes. I just wanted to make sure I understood about the Exodus at metronite.com email address. You said like you get a potential shipper email you?
No. You reply back to the Okay, so I'm sending you the shipper packet now. You're going to attach the shipper packet to your email, that you're sending now to ask for the shipper packet, whatever your email is, Felicia@gmail.com. You're going to attach that shipper packet and send it to the potential shipper. They're going to send that back to you filled out. You're going to forward that to me to Exodus@metronite.com.
Got it. Okay.
That way I can keep a track of which student got a return shipper packet from what shipper. Because I want to keep track of who gets paid what. Because as we move loads for the shippers, because that shipper returning that shipper packet, that's your account. That's your account. As a student, that's your account. And then when you leave and you take that account with you or that book of business, when you become a freight agent, either under Metro or you go somewhere else, you can take that shipper with you. That's your customer. We don't want that customer. But while you're being trained under us and you make money that way potentially, and if you come under Metro Night and stay under, it's still your account. So, okay. Good question. Good question. And because that's how we know which person got what shipper. So, what's the percentage when someone a load from that list? While you are a student, I think I said that earlier, but while you are a student under this platform, because this is my platform and I'm associated with Metro Night, my commission split with Metro Night is 70-30. I get 70%. Correct, half of 70. I'm splitting my 70% with you while you are a student learning and you brought a shipper on board and we're moving loads for that shipper. You are getting, while you're learning, you're also earning. And then when you break away and become your own agent, either under Metro, if you come under Metro, then maybe you and Kim will talk about the commission split. You might get 70-30 because now you have book of business. You have a book of business and you're bringing it on. So the loads you move from your list. So what are you saying, Charles? You already have customers right now that you're willing to bring over? Felicia, keep track of shippers you get, even though the company's going to cover your stuff. Right. Right. That's right. Keep track. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, because you guys are business owners. You're going to be business owners, freight brokers, what have you. You also, I would certainly hope that you would keep track of your own shippers as well. That is good advice, Tayshawn. You definitely want to cover yourself. So yeah, create a file folder, and go from there. Anonymous, I missed your question. Let me scroll back up. They are building a new Costco here in the Houston area where I live. Do I wait until all the walls are up before I approach them? That's a good question. No. If you have the ability to go and access the shipping and receiving area while they're building it, or see if you can talk to someone, or at least leave some information about contacting you, then go ahead. If you're not comfortable with that approach, then wait a while till the building is closer to being complete and you're able to actually drive in and park in the shipping and receiving area. Or if the business in that area is listed already publicly, then go ahead too. It's just construction right now. So if it's just construction right now, then it should be in the chamber. It should be in the directory in the local chamber of commerce, because if it's under construction right now, that means it's already got approved to be built in that area. Putting it in locally, advertising, things like that. So Charles said, when I get a shipper that give us the list, and if someone other than me moves a load from that list, what is the rate difference, me booking the load and someone else? That I have to discuss with. That's a good question. That I have to discuss with Kim. Right now, as you are a student and you bring a shipper on as a student, it's going to be 35% because I'm going to be because you're a student under this platform, my platform, so I'm pretty much funneling and handling moving your loads. So but when you become an agent under Kim's and you bring your shippers on and you have a ton of loads, I understand what you're asking. You have a ton of loads and you're moving some of them, but others are moving some of them too. So what percentage? Yes. Yeah, whatever the gross amount is, whatever the amount is, doesn't matter the amount. The percentage is constant. The amount varies, Charles, but the percentage is constant while you are a student. But when you right, exactly, the total gross, correct. Oh, no. I understand what you're saying. I take that back. I take that back, Charles. Because I'm thinking about the dispatcher side. It's the profit that the brokerage makes. So say we move a load and make $200 off the load. So now it's 70% and 30%, and then we split the 70%, 35 and 35. Yeah. So it's net. It's the profit from the load that the broker makes, that the brokerage makes. So yeah. Good catch. I must be tired. It's been a long day. Fridays are my busiest days apparently. So yeah. So if the brokerage makes a $200 profit, right? Let's do some math. So if the brokerage makes a $200 profit off of it, right? My commission split is 70%. So now let's assume you guys are students. My commission split is 70%. So 70%. So $60 goes to the brokerage. $140 goes to me, my commission split. So I'm splitting that 140 with you. So 70 goes to you, 70 goes to me. So you're getting that. That's how that works. So say you get a shipper that gives us 10 loads a week to move. Not 10 loads a day, 10 loads a week starting out just to test us. And we make $2 per load times 10 loads, right? As many as you can handle starting out. As many as you can handle. How many loads can an agent be expected to move? I know agents that are moving. I know one that moves 5 loads a day. So that's what, and then she works 5 days a week, so that's 25 loads. And that's because she wants to. She can do more, but she don't want to drive herself crazy. She says money is fine, but she likes her sanity and freedom. So she moves 500 loads a day, and I know her personally. She moves 500 loads. Not 500 loads a day. She moves 5 loads a day at about $200 profit on each load. So she's making $1,000 a day just off of 5 loads. 5 loads. So in other words, she found a good enough shipper, and this is just one shipper. One shipper. She found a good enough shipper where she can move 5 loads a day. The rate that the shipper's giving her is so good that she can pass that savings on to the carrier and still make $200 profit per load. So she's moving 5 loads a day doing that. $1,000 times 5. So she's making $5,000 a week, moving 5 loads a day. So she's moving 25 loads a week. So 5 loads a day times 5 is 25 loads, $25 a week. 25 loads a week. So, and that's just one shipper. Now, what happens if she gets sub-agents under her and trains them to do exactly what she does, and then offers them a commission split 60-40? 60% to the agent, 40% to her, and they're doing the exact same thing. She trains them, and this is just imagine that she'll train them, put them under her, give them all the resources they need, the load boards, the TMS system, how to navigate that, how to call the shippers, the directories, things like that, to the point where the agents, let's say she has 3 agents doing that, and they're moving 5 loads a day, and making $200 per load. So at 5 loads a day, so that's 5. But they're splitting the commission split with her 60-40, so she's getting 40% of each of those 3 agents. So she's making an extra. So $2,000 times 3 agents. She's making an extra $6,000 a week on the 3 sub-agents she has under her, on top of her $5,000 a week herself. A week now. A week. $11,000 a week. And that's just her moving 5 loads herself, and then she has 3 agents under her moving just 5 loads a day. Yeah, it's not a brick and mortar. They're working from home. It's not a brick and mortar. It can be, but why would you, if you're just starting out as a broker, I wouldn't create that expense account for myself by leasing a building, a brick and mortar. That's just adding and then buying computers and things like that. Why not just give the opportunity and work? No, she's a broker, Brandy. This person that I know, she's a broker. She started off herself just with one man. She got one man. She has more than one shipper. I'm just giving you a scenario of that one shipper. She makes a ton of money. She makes about $400,000 a year. I'm just giving you the one scenario when she started out. She had one main shipper, and that shipper was a good, loyal shipper. They gave her good enough paying loads where she can just move 5. Exactly. Wow. She can move 5 loads a day. So she got to a point where she said, well, man, I need to scale this business. I need to scale because it's starting to grow. The shippers seeing that I'm moving loads, so they're giving me more loads, but I can't handle that all the time because I drive myself crazy. So, hey, here's an idea. Ding, 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 ding. Let me hire some people. Let me hire them. Don't pay them hourly. Don't pay them salary. Commission-based. 1099. That way there's no money out your pocket. Right? You see the smart, you see the intelligence in that? You don't have to pay a salary. You don't have to pay hourly. You hire them commission-based. That way they get paid based off of performance. So, as an agent, what's the estimate of that? What do you mean, Brandy? I'm trying to understand your question. So, what's the estimate of that? Let me finish this now.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so you were saying how she moved 5 loads a day and get 1,000. So if, as an agent, if we was doing the same thing, like what would be like the estimate?
Oh, well, you mean the commission split?
Yes.
Well, with the agents, if they're moving 5 loads a day, they're either going to be the standard 60-40 or the 70-30. Let's say it's 70-30. Let's say she has 3 agents and they're performing 5 loads a day under her brokerage. Let's just add an example. So they move 5 loads a day and they make $200 profit. Let's say they make $100 profit. Let's lowball this example. Let's say they make $100 profit. No, it's not agents. She's a broker. This example. This person is a broker, Charles, that I'm talking about. She started off as a broker. She got a good paying shipper, and the shipper saw that she was moving loads, so they decided to give her more loads, but she couldn't handle all the loads. So she said she needed to scale her brokerage, so she brought agents on. She wasn't an agent. She was a broker. So. Okay, so the agents, they're making $100 profit, right? They're moving 5 loads a day. So what's that? $500 a day times 5. They work 5 days a week, so they're making $2,500, but they're getting a 70% commission split, and the broker is getting the 30% of that. So, Brandy, are you trying to see what numbers is the agent going to get, or what number is the broker going to get from her agents? Can you still hear me, Brandy? The agent, okay. So if the agent is getting 70% of that, then that's what they're making on those 5 loads a day. And that's at $100 per load. That's the low end, $1,750 a week, and that's just one shipper. Okay. So, all right. Let me I didn't want to get too sidetracked. Not bad at all. Okay. She got the email. Great class. You are welcome. I try to respond to emails and stuff because I don't want to get sidetracked and then I lose track of who gets what and when and stuff like that. So, are there any questions? We can do Q&A for the next 14 Okay, Charles, I'm sending you the shipper packet. Yes, you do. I will send. What I'm going to do, I'm going to send the link. As a matter of fact, let me do that now. The very first thing in TMS you want to learn is how to build a load, and Brandy is aware of that. Shipper's packet. Okay, there you go, Charles. So I want to ask a question here. Let's see. I need to learn the TMS forwards and backwards. What's the best way? You can sign up for a free version of Ascend. Sign up for a free version because you are a broker, so you can use your authority number to sign up for a free version at least, Charles. And in the free version, I think they have tutorials in there to go through and learn the process. But I can show you as much as I can, but I can't give you the logins for Charles said done it, but it blocks several fields. Okay. Yeah. Tayshawn said YouTube. So yeah, let's go to YouTube real quick before I let me send out yeah, there you go. Ascend TMS. So you got several YouTubes. So what I'll do is let me go ahead and put that there, a link to that page, and then we can go from there. So there you go. YouTube. Bam. Right? So those are good starting points. And on the YouTube ones, how to build a load. It's pretty good. The dashboard is pretty good. It shows everything overall. The dashboard is where I get the current information of rates for the lanes and stuff like that. So and Ascend TMS, it integrates with DAT, DAT load boards, Internet Truck Stop, and 123 load boards. This is what we have under Metro Night. We have integration. So if you wanted to post load from DAT, from Ascend, it'll go directly to the integrated load boards that you have in your specific subscription of this TMS system. So everything is interchangeable and integrated. That's how technology works nowadays. Document processing, driver, all that stuff, I wouldn't worry about that because as an agent, you're not going to be handling all that stuff. All the financials and the reportings, the broker themselves are going to do that. The only thing that the agent is going to be doing is more load-related stuff, entering in the shipper's data information, entering in the carrier's information, building the load, and producing the rate confirmation. That's it. Everything else, financials, the broker's actually going to be doing the financials, making sure the carrier gets paid, making sure you get paid as an agent, making sure that they invoice the shipper so they can pay guys to get paid. The broker handles the financials because it's their brokerage, so they handle their numbers. But you just bring the customers in, build the loads, produce the rate confirmation, send it to the carriers, and dispatch those loads. So as far as learning about document management and financials and all that stuff, I wouldn't concern myself with that because you're not going to be doing that. Okay? But next training, I'll do another tutorial on how to navigate through the Ascend so you know what to look for. We'll actually build a load, produce a rate confirmation, assuming that we received a load tender from a shipper. So you can actually get to see what you're actually going to be doing eventually if you use the Ascend TMS software. So, and most other softwares are pretty similar. What they do is just the format and the features may be different. So, any questions? Okay, yeah, it's a good point too. We can work on because if you guys want to focus on cold calls and getting your cold call process and scripts down too, we can do that as well. So we can do mock. What we'll do is we can do the first hour. Either the first hour we do next Friday, the first hour we can do mock calls. Right now it's once a week for about a month or so. I'm trying to get a time where I can do it maybe 2 days a week, like Tuesday, Thursday, because Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 11 to 1, I got Dispatch Training 101. I was thinking about trying to do, Charles, Tuesday and Thursdays the same time for Freight Broker 101 from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason being is because we can call shippers live during those times, not only do mock calls, but we can do live calls. So I'm trying to see if that's a possibility because I want to consider the times of days that people work too. Right now it's good that we're doing it in the evening because it's late, people are getting off of work, and you all can tune into the calls, to the training. But what better way to train where I can actually call shippers live and we get to hear the no's, all the responses, whether it's sending a packet, whether we already deal with brokers, we don't need any more brokers, we're not interested. Any response you hear, at least you're going to hear it and get the lingo and understand. So, right, yeah, and I understand, but I have to consider everyone else too. So I need to make sure everyone. So I want to make sure that a large percentage of, I want to get it to a time where it's appropriate and convenient for the majority of you guys, if not all. So right now, Friday evenings from 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time is ideal. But if I can do it, what I may do is I may do, one day during the week, maybe a Tuesday or a Thursday. So the Tuesday, Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way I'm doing something that same time period. So everybody seems to be responding that they're cool with that change. What I'll do is I may consider starting it in April or May. April or May at the latest, the beginning of April or the beginning of May at the latest, I may change the times of Freight Broker 101 training from one day, Friday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. to 2 days a week, which is Tuesday, Thursday, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way it coincides with the dispatcher training. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, dispatchers. Tuesday, Thursday, freight brokers. Both of them are the same times. How many shippers are we expect to have? Starting out, you want to teach yourself, Charles. You want to get the techniques and the mechanics down first, and then when you get to a point where you understand the process very thoroughly, then you consider scaling your number of shippers that you're bringing in. So it's a progression. It's going to take time, but you don't want to overwork yourself, right? You feed a baby Gerber, you don't feed a big steak. So it's baby steps. So start off with one shipper, get that process down, and then duplicate that. Take that and scale, and then go boom, do it again, do it again, do it again. That way, because if you try to jump in, like I understand you're hungry, but if you jump in, it's good to be hungry, but you have to have a little coup to it too. So it's going to happen. Getting shippers is not going to be the problem. Getting shippers is not going to be the problem. It may seem like that starting out because you have to wean and tweak the process of talking to them and things like that, or going directly to. I recommend going to local shippers, local companies in your area, and physically visiting them and talking to them, because she calls every day. But if you can walk up and talk to a person, shake their hand and look them in the eye and talk to them, what do you think the chance of you of getting them to say, yeah, give me your packet, as opposed to talking to them on the phone? If they see eye contact, you shaking them hand, they know who you are, you're talking to them, there you go. I saw your text, Brandy. I'm starting to think that a little bit myself, but we'll see. Only time will tell, Brandy. You understand?
Yes, I do.
He's a broker, though. He's a broker. Okay, I have a job. I may move slower than others. Yeah, that's fine because of that. But this is Felicia saying that, but I am so ready to say bye-bye to my clock in job. Yes. Before you say goodbye to a job, now what I did as a dispatcher, I put some money aside, and then I stepped away for 90 days and then did the dispatching thing. And I said, if I couldn't get dispatching done in 90 days, I'll go back to my job. So I had income set aside. But we are a network, and we are here to help one another. So, and my to have that a uniform mentality with everybody or one-on-one. I since hope and pray that I do not get people in this freight broker one-on-one training for beginners platform who want to jump the gun sooner than they need to. I do not encourage that, and if it disrupts the group, I will have to consider removing those people. And I'm not saying that to you guys specifically. I'm just saying overall, because the purpose of the group is to help. We are here to help one another and to grow together and to learn together. So we need to do that in a uniform and peaceful environment, and we need to be on the same page. So I want to be upfront with that. So the whole point is to grow together. So if everyone is in agreement with what I just said, please type that into your own comment section, please. Okay. I'm missing a few yeses. I know Tayshawn agree with me. Right. Yep. Facts. So the only one I don't see is Charles. You still with us? Oh, okay. Let's get it on. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a. See how that was done, Brandy? You guys have a wonderful 8 o'clock. You guys have a wonderful, blessed weekend, safe weekend. Oh, I missed your question again. Anonymous, let me scroll up. Cause I was just ready to get up. Oh, okay. So the warehouses that have been around for a while, think they still need brokers' help. I live by the philosophy of nothing beats a failure but a try. You can always try. The worst you're going to get is no, right? So try them out and see. Because you never know. They may have brokers in there, but you never know their situations in those warehouses. They may be like unsatisfied with a broker's performance. And the broker say, okay, I can offer this service. Where do you need help at? How can I help you? And then, especially if you go in there in person. take their hand and look them in the eye and talk to them. So yeah, all right. Work assignments. Someone got off, but that's a good point. Homework assignment. Find 10 products in your house and make a list of the shippers on those products. And exactly, Charles just said it. Find and search shippers. Find and search shippers based off of what you have in your own home. You ain't even got to leave your house. You don't even have to get online. The only time you got to get online is to search Google company to look them up and to get feedback about the company before you decide to call them. You don't have to call them just as a, if going to call them, what information would you have so you can make yourself look good when you do call them and start to say, hey, I know about your company. This is what you do. I know what you haul. Kind of thing, right? So 10 products. It doesn't have to be food. It can be clothing because on the tags of your shirts and stuff like that, it has the manufacturers, appliances, anything, TVs, whatever. 10 products in your house. List the shippers, who they are, look them up on Google, and by the time we meet next Friday, we can review some of them and get an idea, you know, and go from there. Okay, guys? Something simple. Not a big deal. And then practice navigating the website, making sure that your passwords work, looking at the stuff, and going from there. Of course, I'm always reachable. You guys know that. Reach me anytime. Not a hard person to get a hold of. I put my phone number there all the time. So, all right. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope everything is well with you and your families. Everything is safe. Everybody's safe. Godspeed. If anybody's sick, anybody's hurt, Godspeed. I hope everything's good. Guys, be safe out there. If you got any questions again, call me. Much love to you guys, okay? Have a good weekend. This recording will be uploaded either later on tonight or tomorrow, okay? All right, guys. Call me anytime. Any reasonable time. All right. Take care. 10-4.